Hey everybody, GP here, and I wanted to do another video for EFT and anxiety. And this is this is so predominant these days. Pretty much everybody I know, for the most part, is experiencing a sense of being in survival mode. A survival mode is, obviously it's that feeling you get when it feels like your back is against the wall. And when you're in survival mode, it is really the lowest, the baseline level of functioning. Survival mode means that you're expecting danger, you're on the alert for danger. The idea of creative engagement, the law of attraction, and any of that stuff is completely out the window because you're almost entirely in a defensive posture. Those of you who have had any experience with inner reconciliation will know about when I talk about getting into the defensive mode, and you can learn about it in a webinar I have here on YouTube. But just consider that when you're in survival mode, there's a constant feeling of being threatened. Now, the thing about the survival mode is the reality of our lives is that we're not in survival mode. For the most part, we are living at a time of unprecedented prosperity. Now, we've all been educated and really brainwashed by the media to think that, there's danger everywhere and we're going to run out and everything's in shortage and, we're always on the edge. Advertisers do that to us to make us buy stuff. Politicians do us to make us vote for them, to give policies that give rights away and all that sort of stuff. We're being bombarded with this idea, but the fact of the matter, it isn't true. We're not actually in it, but we're very sensitive to it. The nervous system is sensitive to survival. It's the number one mandate is survive. So if there's anything that appears to be a threat, your nervous system is going to have to deal with it first. When you're in survival mode, it means that threat has become almost constant. It's almost like it's a background noise. Genuine survival mode is when there's a genuine threat, right? The bear is chasing you. The trucks have pulled up to take all your furniture out of your house because you've been foreclosed on. That's a sense of survival mode because it's a real and present danger. It's an obvious danger, and maybe there's nothing you can do about it. If you like an animal that's being chased by a predator, if they get caught, it's over. They surrender to it. But up until that point, it's total survival mode. They're running as fast as they can. They're fighting as hard as they can. They're climbing as high as they can. Whatever they need to do. But the danger is real and imminent and visible and obvious. And that means that my nervous system is reacting to something real, and then when that threat has been met, and it's no longer a danger, boom, it's gone, the nervous system relaxes back into a state of equilibrium. It's monitoring for danger, but it is not in survival mode. This is the way we were meant to work. Well, one of our greatest gifts is our minds, our ability to plan, our ability to envision, our ability to see things that can be. It's really an incredible gift. But it also allows it, if it's mistrained, we get trained into anticipating the worst all the time. So our mind's filled with pictures of the worst, and so we now have an imaginary threat going on to the point where we're in a sense of survival mode, even when we're not in survival mode. And it can get to the point where we can't even tell whether we are or not, because those images seem so very, very real. Now, a lot of people grew up with a sense of environment of the survival mode. My father lost all his money during the Great Depression. He wasn't really a rich man to start with, but he lost everything, as did many, many people. Hard to find work. He got work because he used to smuggle whiskey in from Canada, and after Prohibition ended, they hired all the Irish guys to be the revenuers to go around and collect money. The Italians went on to become the mafia, but the Irish, my side of the world, they all became the revenuers, right? So so he made a living from that point on. Never luxurious, never ambitious, never over the top. He just kind of went along, but he never ever lost that sense of being in survival mode, and he communicated it to me. And to this day, even though I have done as much work on myself as I have, I still feel it coming up. Something will come up, and I'll have this fear that gets triggered that's completely inappropriate for the circumstances. I now recognize it. I know what to do with it, but we all have that to a certain degree. We have all been conditioned to expect the worst, in a sense, anticipate the worst, and even think about it on an unconscious level. Now, I want to use EFT to begin to try to address that sense of being in survival mode, to try to give some relief to it, to bring some perspective to it. Because the first step is to have the freedom, the emotional freedom, to be able to tell whether you're threatened or not. Is this threat real or imaginary? Is this really an imminent danger right now that I have to deal with, that becomes my highest priority? Or is it just an echo from the past and the result of a misfocus of attention and not a real thing? To get that level of clarity provides just an unprecedented amount of freedom. You can begin to move through your life with some equanimity and some clarity. And you'll find that the vast majority of time, you are not in survival mode. You're not in danger at all. And that will also help you resist the glut of propaganda that's thrown at us to make us feel as if we're in survival mode, which then allows people who are in power to manipulate the things so that they can get what they want because they know we're not in survival mode. So let's start on the karate chop point, and let's see if we can give ourselves a sense of equanimity about this. And I want you to check inside first. I'm not going to have you do a SUDS 0 to 10 because it's very, very subtle. And so it's not really easy to measure. But I want you to instead just kind of look at the history in your mind, your memories of how you've reacted to circumstances, especially what that first reaction is to something happening. Was it, well, something's happened to me and I got to do something about it. Something is asking for my attention. Or was there a feeling of, stepping back like that, a feeling of being threatened? Was there some kind of reasonableness to it? Or was it really just kind of a sense of I'm really being threatened now? And then later you realized it wasn't. That sense of anxiety that I have done all these videos on, just take a look at that. Is that actually something that's going on now? Is there an actual clear and present danger right now? Or is that something just echoing through the nervous system? 99 times out of 100, it's just something echoing through the nervous system. So just check in with that feeling. And like you've seen me do before, the way I do MasterHEART EFT, is we just start right from the premise that that sense of danger is real. Because to the part of you that is in survival mode, it is real. It isn't imaginary. And just telling it that it's imaginary isn't going to help. Remember that what we can see to be true, because you can really understand that you're really not in danger, at the same time feel as if you are. This is what I'm calling now the yoga of allowing, where we can begin to integrate our vision to see what's really true. We see the truth of it, and let it begin to permeate into the entire energy system so it feels true. And not just, we just don't know it anymore. It's moved into the heart. It's gone south right into the heart, which has begun to infiltrate and colonize the rest of the energy system. So, little EFT right now. Even though I am in survival mode, and I'm certain I need to be, Obviously there's danger. I don't see it, but I can feel it's there. All sorts of things could happen. Look at the news, for crying out loud. Listen to our leaders. The world's falling apart. So even though I'm in this mode, I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. So even though I'm living in survival, and I'm sure I'm in survival mode, I'm sure I'm threatened, I know there's dangers, I totally accept how I'm feeling. And I love and honor myself anyway. So even though I'm in survival mode, and I need to be in survival mode, if I'm not in survival mode, I'm really going to be crushed. Because there really is a danger there. Even if I can't see it, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself right now, just as I am. All right, let's tap through the points. I'm in survival mode. The world's caving in on me. I don't know where it's coming from. So I gotta be ready. There's danger everywhere. There's danger I can't see. Just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Gotta be prepared. I'm in survival mode. Everything that's happening is baseline. I'm just getting by. I'm not way ahead. I don't have a lot of money in the bank. I got a little. Maybe I have none. I'm in debt. Totally in survival mode. I totally accept how I'm feeling. Totally accept that this is the way I have to live. This is my truth. I can't deny it. If I denied, I'd be kidding myself. Then I'd be in even more danger. I totally accept survival mode. Stop for a second, just take a deep breath. Whew. As always, notice that I'm not trying to fix anything. I am endorsing survival mode. You didn't get into survival mode because you were stupid. You know, the energy system was trained to be that way. It made the most sense. It seemed like the right thing to be doing. But now we have to bring it closer to reality. We have to know, is this real? Am I really in danger? Is it okay for me to relax? So let's tap again. We're going to just tap right through the points. I know I'm really in danger. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm in danger. Actually, when I look around, I don't see that much danger. I see people telling me about it all the time. Lots of people trying to convince me of it. Interesting how all those people trying to convince me are trying to get something from me. I wonder how much danger there really is. And if I look at my average day, I don't experience any danger. I'm not chased by a bear or mugged. I don't experience anything dangerous. It's actually all quite fine. Today I wasn't in danger. So I wonder why I feel in danger. Clearly my energy system is stuck there. It's obviously trying to protect me, trying to stay vigilant. You never do know where danger is going to come from. Sometimes you can't see it coming. But I wonder if it's possible that my nervous system can be alert to danger, sensitive to it, but not be in survival mode. To just be monitoring, like a guard on duty. Not a guard ready to fight. Just quietly watching. I wonder if that's possible. If it isn't, I accept it. But what if it is? What if my energy system can keep me safe without going into defensive mode? If it can, I certainly would accept that. I would certainly allow that to happen. I'm going to open myself to that possibility. I'm going to check in with my own nervous system. And I'm going to ask it, can you keep me safe and calm, out of survival mode, unless I absolutely must be in it? Stop, take a deep breath. Oof. Again now, notice those of you who are interested in MasterHEART EFT, notice the way I do this. I'm constantly working with the energy to just open it up so that whatever it is inside of you that's stuck in survival mode can see for itself whether or not that's appropriate. And I have so much faith in the energy system that it always responds appropriately to these circumstances. That if it sees what's actually here, and not just these thoughts and ideas and echoes from the past, that it will take an appropriate posture. And that appropriate posture is going to be a lot more relaxed than the one we're in now. So let's do one more round or round like this, if you like, to anchor this into the nervous system, to really give it permission to explore this territory freely and openly and courageously. Again, just tapping through the points. Yeah. I know my nervous system's main job is to protect me. And boy, does it do a great job. It has been protecting me constantly, 24/7, since the moment the sperm met the egg. It has never stopped doing it. And I am so grateful for it. It is so loyal and so effective. And so I'm now just going to give it a new set of instructions. Open up and look. I know we've assumed danger. We have assumed that survival mode was the right posture to be in. I'm beginning to question that. And I'm asking you, my energy system, to check it out. I'll go along with whatever you find. if you find it really is dangerous, imminent danger, clear and present danger, well, of course, survival mode is appropriate. But if there isn't, and these are mostly echoes of the past, ideas planted in my head, images projected by the media and people who don't have my best interest at heart, then I allow you to just stand down, to be totally responsive to real danger, not imaginary danger, to step out of survival mode, out of defensive mode, and into thriving mode, into expressive mode, releasing all of my creativity and energy and enthusiasm. I know you can do this. You can do anything. Thank you for keeping me safe for all this time. Thank you for everything you have done for me. Thank you for being so loyal and effective. Thank you. I love you. Take a deep breath. Now just let that sink in. The fact of the matter is, you're not in survival mode, really. You've just been trained to be in that posture. So you understand that you're not really in survival mode, but your energy system doesn't. And one of the things that we really need to understand as we mature, as we become more spiritually aware, is that the energy system is always lagging behind. It isn't speaking the truth because it doesn't know the truth. It speaks the truth as it knows it. And the truth that it knows is its habitual patterns. And because it feels the sense of danger, we feel it in our bodies, it seems more real to us than if somebody, says you're in danger or you're not in danger, whatever, right? It just goes in one ear and out the other. But yet when we do see that the sense of danger, that sense of being in survival mode isn't really appropriate, and we see it with enough depth with our deeper vision, we begin to realize that the emotional responses that are happening are not really telling us, giving us the clear picture of what it is, of what the truth is. And but it feels so visceral. One of the most significant things that I do within inner reconciliation is reconcile the those differences between our vision for what's possible and the vulnerable state, the defensive posture that the energy system gets stuck in for almost all of us until we wake up to the point where we can liberate it. Of course, that's what this moment is all about. So I hope you've really felt some relief through the EFT we've done, and also just kind of opened your eyes a bit to what's really happening inside of you, and that our interpretation of the world we're living in isn't the truth of the world we're living in. It is the result of what we've been taught to believe and think, what others have experienced around us, what is we're being bombarded with all the time during the day, our own upbringing, and the energetic responses that got placed into us when we were very, very young. But we are brilliantly capable of waking up to being able to see things the way they really are. And when you see things the way they really are, you find that you aren't really in danger, that you are really beyond all of that. And you can step into a role where you really are capable of creating the atmosphere and the environment of health and prosperity and creativity and opportunity and fun and be totally safe within it. That's really the greatest gift, is discovering the reality of that inner safety. So I hope this has been contributing to that. And I think I've got one more for the anxiety series. Love you all. This is GP. Namaste.